Man, the number one threat to society keeps being proven to be the woke judges again and again and again. Big Twitch streamer David was just arrested. We'll cover that as we keep going. But this story is just so brutal. It's mind-numbing, man. Outrage is erupting after Michigan liberal judge Kelly Costin, Whammon, sided with the prosecutors, determining that a 24-year-old white man, Dayton Knapton, who used lethal force to protect his garage from teens, must face trial.
I do find that the prosecution has met his burden as to all 4 counts in this matter of probable cause. I am going to bind these matters over to circuit court for further proceedings. Obviously, this is a very difficult case because you do have some empathy and sympathy for the defendant, understanding that his property had been broken into.
So someone broke into his property and he shot the guy that broke into his property. And now we got liberal Karen Terminator over here talking about how he needs to go to jail for homicide. My guy, my dude, like, what are we even doing here, man? What are we doing?
The testimony looks like at least twice prior to the
Exodus 22:22 states that if someone breaks into your property to steal shit, you can kill them.
To this incident, understanding, and there could have certainly been some real fear on that evening, but the court also notes that the law does not allow you to use deadly force to protect your property. In this particular case,
oh my God,
it was.
But how do you know that this guy wasn't going to kill him, though? See, that's ultimately the logic. If someone's willing to break into your house, they expect you to fight back, which means that they expect to potentially use deadly force against you. Right? The argument for self-defense when people break into your property isn't just that you are using lethal force to protect your property. It's that you are using lethal force against potential lethal force coming your way. All right? It is like quintessentially self-defense. And it's brutal watching this, man. Right? So this dude gets some hooligan breaking into his property to steal his shit. He kills him, based. And now we have retard Karen McGee ruining his life over it. So, like, it's literally, you're fucked. Either you let this person break into your property, rob you, hopefully not kill you, but maybe do that. I'd take the chance. Or fight back and go to court and go to jail. Because Karen retard decides to put you in prison forever.
It was a detached garage. The defendant in this case put himself in the situation.
He put himself in the situation. Why? Oh, because he was living around black people. I don't even know what the argument here is. That's obviously racist as fuck. I'm sure that's not what she meant. But, like, what are we even doing? This is insanity. It's brutal and insane. The defendant put himself in the situation. All right? Look at what's going on here.
Obviously, this is a very difficult case because you do have some empathy and sympathy for the defendant, understanding
This dude shot people that broke into his house.
that his property had been broken into. The testimony looks like at least twice prior to to this incident. Understanding, and there could have certainly been some real.
Actually, like, I love how the liberal position on almost all politics right now is actually you just have to let them rape you. Right? Yeah, they're raping us when they're coming across the border. Yeah, you have to just let them rape you. Oh, they're raping us in our homes. You just have to let that happen.
Fear on that.
I guarantee you, if it was a white guy robbing a black guy and the black guy used lethal force to defend himself, bro would be out of jail immediately. You know, and it's so sad, man, because I believe in justice. I actually believe in equal opportunity here. All right, I believe that the same crime, the same punishment should fit the same crime for every person of all races. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was a white person killing a black person or a black person killing a white person. If you're defending your property when someone's breaking in, fuck them. Fuck them. They have sacrificed their right to live the moment they broke into your property. I don't know why we need to live like this. Man, it's just the liberal position of just let them rape you. And the worst part is you see them constantly releasing the same fucking criminals again and again and again. All you know, migrants and black people, because the woke judges feel the need to I don't know, feel good about themselves. Man, we have a white libtard judge epidemic.
That evening, but the court also notes that the law.
Oh my God, I can't even listen to this. This is such bullshit. It's crazy. And like, the thing is, it happens every single day, multiple times. Breaking. ICE arrested Luis Marcano, a Trendiaragua, that's a terrorist, by the way, illegal alien gang member involved in the killing of a baby, after Democrat Judge Karen McCallum reduced his bond from $1 million to $25K. Like, it's unbelievable, bro. We gotta abolish the woke judges. All right, there is a cartel of woke judges that are raping our country. Not even exaggerating. This is an unbelievable travesty. Right, and now a baby's dead because a woke judge felt the need to release a terrorist from jail. All right, racist monster who live streamed torture of white disabled man is back behind bars. What do you mean back behind bars? You mean he was arrested multiple times before and you keep letting him out until something horrible happens? I wonder, and the reaction is always this now. I wonder which white female judge will release him again. You know, this is a story of a 12-year-old accused of shoving rocks into the mouth of a 12-year-old girl so his friend could rape her, was just released by a judge.
There were two very different outcomes today. 13-year-old Nelson Nunez, the suspect accused of raping the young girl, will remain behind bars in an adult correctional facility as he awaits trial. Over the past several days, his attorney had Nunez's family members tell the judge how they would ensure his supervision if he were to be released. The judge was not convinced. However, 12-year-old Josiah Jones, the suspect accused of putting rocks in the young girl's mouth to silence her as she was allegedly being raped by Nelson Nunez, will be allowed to go home as he awaits trial.
Literally,
he'll be on lockdown at home. He'll have to attend virtual school and can't have access to the internet outside of school, and may not contact the victim or any other defendants.
And you really think that this person isn't going to be a repeat offender? Shoving rocks in the mouth of a random girl and not get punished for while his friend rapes her and he doesn't get punished? It's just absolute insanity that they're making us go through this shit. So David, a Twitch streamer of nebulous ethnic background, was just arrested. Moist Critical made a video on it. This is like a pretty open and shut case, but I guess now we only have to wait until some woke judge releases him.
It's finally happening. David has been arrested and is being held without bail. It's been 7 months since a child's body was found decomposing in the trunk of his towed vehicle.
Think about how long has it been?
Child's body was found decomposed. It's been 7 months.
7 months? They let this motherfucker wander around on the streets for 7 months after they find a 14-year-old girl's body in his car. Like, again, this society is designed to destroy us. Like, it's crazy.
Since a child's body was found decomposing in the trunk of his towed vehicle,
this is not right,
and now
man.
Authorities have arrested him as the main suspect in her murder. Her name was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She went missing in 2024, and her body was found in 2025. She was 14 at the time of her death, according to authorities, and according to everyone's eyeballs...
Oh my god, even the libtards think he should be in jail. That's crazy.
...was in a relationship with David. There is a plethora of...
Oh my god! So this dude had a relationship with a 14-year-old and suddenly her body shows up in his car? And then for 7 months they don't arrest him? They just let him wander the streets? My guy.
Evidence about these two being in a relationship together, which is something even the most avid and ferocious of David defenders, when they pick up their shield, just kind of brush over. The fact that an adult was in a romantic relationship with a 13-year-old. I've seen them use excuses of, oh, he was homeschooled, you know, so he couldn't have known that that was bad. What the fuck? It's just actual craziness.
This is the libtard defense. It's unbelievable. Oh, he didn't realize that it's a crime to rape children. Oh, oops. Well, I guess we have to let him out. Oh, you didn't know? It's just part of the culture of the person we're importing into our country. It's just part of their culture to rape kids. Oh, oops. My bad. Didn't mean to be xenophobic. Like, what are we even fucking doing with ourselves, man? Like, not knowing is not a defense. That's one. And two, literally get out of here with this shit. Like, we want a society that doesn't have this as an issue. It's just so maddening.
And I started talking about this when the story was breaking, and I got a lot of pushback. There were a lot of people, you know, going ballistic about how wrong this whole...
I love how, like, when you watch leftists, like, and Moist Critical is like a liberal guy in general, so watching leftists be like, yeah, we should arrest this pedophile murderer, and then his audience is like, well, maybe he was confused. Imagine getting eaten by your audience for something like that. Alleged pedophile murderer, I should say. All right, we don't know. We don't know. It's just a suspect.
Whole thing was, and that I'm a fucking gullible idiot for thinking David was the one that did this. Just this large vocal group of deluded fans.
You see, I will not have a single person in my audience say this shit. Well, now they probably will, just to get me for saying that they won't say it. But they're not. No one's gonna say this because no one in my audience is that retarded. Like, you have to be a special breed of libtard to even approach this in this manner.
That were trying to, like, brainwash people into thinking that it was all a lie, so they were cooking up these elaborate, unhinged theories on what actually happened and how David is innocent and is even a victim in all of this. Oh, you know, fucking 5G towers were blasting waves that signaled the cartel to come perform a hit on this child and then put her body in the trunk of David's vehicle to frame him for her murder. Like, it was bouncing all over the place. I can't even remember everything that they were spewing, but it was all just complete gobbledygook, just complete babble nonsense that anyone who even bothered to look at any of the evidence could easily point to and say, no, you're wrong, just look at this. But they would refuse to look at the reality of it. The evidence, even at the time, was pretty damning. He was even leaving fucking breadcrumbs in his music about this.
No shot.
And he wasn't exactly shy about broadcasting.
I love how, like, that, and that is the culture in certain areas. We don't need to get into specifics. I don't need to get canceled for this one. But, like, you'll have, like, cultures where it's like, oh, hell yeah, I cracked that 14-year-old. And then everyone's like, whoa, he's so fucking cool. And then we're sitting here being like, I wonder why this community is more violent. You know, look, I'm not trying to be controversial or anything, but, like, I'm personally anti-rape, which makes me not a leftist these days.
His relationship with this child. So even if he was innocent of the murder, he was very clearly dating a minor. Like, it was just crazy to see so many people were defending him, and I imagine are still actively defending him, even in the face of this arrest, because he hasn't been formally charged for anything at the moment, and I imagine that's what they're latching onto, like a baby to its mother's bosom. And at the time, one of the big things that they're using as a defense
I love
against
how no one's even addressing the fact that this dude was wandering around for 7 months, man.
For David was the fact that he wasn't arrested yet. Well, if he's guilty, why didn't the police break through his fucking windows the second that the body was found, huh? He must be innocent then. The authorities know more than we do. He's clearly innocent and we gotta find the real perpetrator. Completely oblivious to the fact that that's not how the world works. Not everything is a goddamn action movie.
My God, dude. My God, bro. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? They just released this fucker. This is an illegal alien. Tren de Aragua terrorist. All right? That invaded our country illegally. He was arrested and released by Judge Karen. You can't even make this up. Judge Karen released this guy and he murdered a baby. Right? If anyone actually, like, here's the thing. Leftists actually might believe that, well, if he was actually guilty, he would have been arrested. Like, a leftist might believe that because they don't engage in reality. All right? Anyone that thinks a man could be a woman might also think that, oh, hell yeah, well, if this guy committed a crime, he would be doing the time. All right? But that's not how the world works, buddy. That's not how it works. We have a woke judge cartel on our hands.
They had to also build a case as well. And yes, this did take a lot longer than I and most people would have expected, given how abundant the evidence is against David. But I imagine that this is pretty standard.
Bro, we need to replace every woke judge with Uncle Ruckus. All right, well, that's enough for this video.
Procedure for them to gather tons of evidence to build an ironclad case, and now they are confident enough that they've moved to the next phase, which is arresting him.
Bye. Bye, dipshit. Bye, dickwad. Get fucked. Just insane, dude. It's a
now, additional details around this arrest confirm that the arrest is not related to the grand jury that they were going through over the last handful of months where they were seeking an indictment there. This is totally separate based upon evidence that they have been gathering over these months here. This must be a long process, I suppose, but it doesn't seem like they were just sitting AFK waiting for the case to solve itself or David to turn himself in or anything like that. It's just a process that I guess took this long.
All right, and so a lot of people wondering, you know, so many things seem to point to him. Why did it take them this long to make
Great
the arrest?
question.
We know they're pretty methodical about how they do
Yeah,
things.
no, they're not. But yeah.
Yeah,
great
it's a
question.
good question. One of the things that they were waiting on, Mark, was the cause of death. And there was difficulty reaching that cause of death, not to get too graphic, but her body was in multiple parts. It was in, we know from court documents, 2 different body bags in the front trunk of that Tesla when her body was found. So it was difficult for the medical examiner to determine the cause of death. So they had to prove or be able to show to the DA that she was murdered, that it wasn't something else where,
They found her body in his car. Like, we're supposed to sit here and suspend our belief that this is anything other than woke retards being woke retards. Woke kills, man. It's not just like a cringe gay ideology about dipshits that want to live and frolic in their meadows of dreams and semen, all right? Like, these people are dangerous.
say that she overdosed and then somebody freaked out and put her body in that trunk. They have to be able to prove that it was murder. They now believe.
Like, are we being serious? We don't think it's murder. Maybe she just overdosed. A 14-year-old just overdosed, and someone stuffed her body in the trunk of this guy who was in some sort of romantic relationship with her, a 14-year-old. And it's like, well, we shouldn't really even investigate, really, that much, because, I mean, technically, we don't know if it was murder.
That they can do that.
This part got a big old and a scratch on my chinny chin chin for me, because what do you mean this could have been like, an accident, like she overdosed and somebody freaked out? So then they chopped up her body and stored it in the trunk of a car. Who freaks out like that?
Liberals realizing that the Justice Department might have a 2-tier system.
Like, oh no, this accident just happened, quick! Give me my fucking bone saw. I've got to start chopping up this body, mutilating it, and then hiding it in the trunk of this vehicle. This accident that just unfolded. Oh, I don't know what else to do. Biting at my nails. All right, now give me the hydrofluoric acid so I can dissolve all the body and hide the evidence. Like, is that something plausible? Because to me, it's not. If that is what happened, they're psychopaths, and that is also a crime too, by the way, to do that.
True.
So, like, I understand how important.
Libtard realizing that, hold up, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend Charlie that much. He doesn't read politics. So I feel like he's just a confused lamb sometimes. Maybe I'm being too nice to the guy. All right, I call him out when he deserves it, like with the RFK video that I made like 2 days ago. But I'm not gonna lie, this is bad. This is bad. Like, what do you mean? My guy, literally look into the judge cartel in our country.
What it is to find the cause of death, that makes a lot of sense to me. But what else could it be besides murder? This is a gruesome, disgusting, grisly crime here. I don't see any dimension out there where this is action that a sane, innocent person would take, where an individual accidentally passes away, and then the innocent person who had nothing to do with the death all of a sudden starts chopping up the body, putting it in multiple body bags, and putting it in the trunk of their vehicle, and just letting it rot, decompose, and fester there. Like, what sense does that make at all? Even if David wasn't the one that chopped her body up, someone else did it, and apparently there's this possibility that they had nothing to do with her actual death. They just mutilated the corpse, which again is a crime too. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think she accidentally died of something like an overdose, and then they all of a sudden just started, panicking like, oh, jump scare, she's dead. Okay, this is what we've got to do, boys. Everyone, let's go to Lowe's and get some equipment to start chopping up the body, because that's what normal people would do in this situation. We're scared. I was homeschooled, by the way, so I don't know any better. I'm scared. Let's start chopping up this body now and hiding it. We had nothing to do with her death, by the way. Like, that's so fucked up. Like, again, I understand how important it is to find the actual cause of death and how tricky it is in a case like this because of how long the body had.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Finding the cause of death is real, but it doesn't explain the obvious mishandling of an event where they basically let a guy who they found a corpse of a 14-year-old that was in a relationship with an adult in the car of the adult, chopped up. All right, and they let this guy wander around the streets for 7 months. This should be screaming at you, right? This should wake any self-respecting libtard from their slumber of sanctity and safety, and understand that our justice system fucking sucks, specifically in one regard, which is they're woke as fuck, and it's heartbreaking.
Had been in the trunk decaying, as well as being in multiple pieces. And
I mean, I know that I don't think Charlie did a video on Irina Zarutska, right? Ukrainian refugee that was murdered by a vicious animal, all right, in a subway that was released from prisons like 17 times. Like, how does this happen?
Bags. Like, I get why that would be tough to discern what actually killed her, but I don't know how you could even reach any other conclusion other than murder. I truly don't. I don't even know why that would be on the table. That one kind of boggles my little noodle here.
Yeah, maybe it's on the table because they actually had an agenda, because they actually wanted a result that was different than putting this guy in jail.
During the grand jury proceedings, which are secret as they're ongoing, that there were a number of other people who came forward, those who are close to David, friends of David, family members of his were subpoenaed to go in front of the grand jury. So if there are other arrests that could be coming, we don't know. But as of right now, he is the only one that we know of under arrest.
Now, apparently there were some of David's friends that allegedly started squealing, like snitching about it to a certain degree. There's also someone a lot of people have had their eyes on in David's entourage. His name is Neo. That's what everyone calls him. And it's someone that Law and Crime mentioned during their coverage of this as well. But as of right now, it's just David under arrest, but I guess there could be more if some of his friends knew and tried to help him cover it up, or just didn't report it, tried to stay, tight-lipped about it. So I guess we'll see how it all unfolds. Right now, it's just him. Overall, just an extremely sad and sick case. Hopefully there will be justice for Celeste Rivas here. And even if somehow David isn't the one who actually murdered her, it is irrefutable that he was in a relationship with a child. So he should also be going to jail for that. And I find it hard to believe that if he is innocent of the murder, he didn't know that the child he was dating was dead and her corpse was chopped up and put in the back of his vehicle's trunk. I am certain he would have had that knowledge. So again, even if he didn't actually kill her, he is not innocent. He is not some, victim in all of this. He is an evil monster, and I do believe he is the one that killed her. I think all of the evidence points to him being the person that most likely did it. But I guess we'll see now that he's been arrested. I'm assuming this will now start to reveal more and more information to the public about all.
It's just wild watching libtards be like, wait a second, I don't understand why they didn't arrest this guy. It's so obvious he shouldn't be in public life. Although, I shouldn't be surprised. Every single time I tell a libtard, did you know that 13% of the population commits 50% of the violent crimes? They just look at me in disbelief. They don't even believe it. Like, they just think the statistics are racist. And, a lot of people think that means that, oh my God, black people are just so overwhelmingly violent. Well, per capita, they're definitely a lot more violent than white people, but still, it's a small percent of the population, obviously. But people don't even want to engage in the subject matter because it's just uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable that cultures that glorify violence more tend to be more violent. And it's uncomfortable to recognize that there's such a woke agenda bullshit going on in the government on a governmental level, and I hate the word woke as much as the next guy, that we have a literal institutionalized cartel of judges that wants to downplay specific crimes from specific demographics in order to maintain this vivid false reality that this is not happening or taking place. Well, it is transpiring, and we are seeing cover-ups across the board, across the country, the release of criminals again and again and again and again. And, I'm not even going to lie to you. When you see this guy, it takes 7 months to put this guy in jail, who was in a relationship with a 14-year-old who had her chopped up corpse found in his car, okay? All right, a 14-year-old, all right? And it took 7 months to actually arrest this guy, and you have libtards being like, wait a second, I don't understand why he was allowed in public. Then you have this guy who shot people that broke into his house, and he's in jail immediately. He is immediately imprisoned, all right? You don't understand. They're putting him in jail until the court case, all right? He didn't even have his trial yet. They're putting him in jail until the trial because he's too much of a danger to public life. You know why? Because he shot someone that broke into his house. There is a two-tier justice going on in this country. It is the opposite of what every leftist thinks, that black people are secretly oppressed by the government. They are not. It's not true. It was the case. It's not anymore. And just watching libtards engage with reality is just honestly one of my favorite pastimes. What do you mean the biologically male transgender person that we put in a female prison is raping other prisoners? I can't even believe it. Anyway, that was this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.